Good morning, students. Today I am going to start your second chapter, or you can say a second lesson, which is your poetry, and it is written by Robert Frost. You have also read the poet in your 9th standard. What is the name? Do you know? It is The Road Not Taken. It was also been written by Robert Frost. Today we are just going to read about the poem Dust of Snow. It is written by Robert Frost. First I am going to give you just a general instruction, or you can say a general introduction about the poem. This poem is just very short, of just 8 lines, but it has a very great and large meaning. You can say it is just about the mood, or you can say just about something which a poet feels and how it changes by a sudden incident which happens to him. So just an introduction now. The poem Dust of Snow by Robert Frost is a simple and short poem, yet with a deeper and larger meaning. The poet explains how an act as petty as expressing snow on one's body can brighten one's day up. The message of the poem is put into words by Robert Frost. What the poet says here, what is trying to say here, it is very small poetry, but what it says about the incident here is how an act, something which happens to him, how it changed his feelings. He was in a feeling which was very sad. You can say it was in a very sad mood, but something which happened here, an act which happened here, made his day brighten up. This is the thing which the poet wants to deliver from this story. First we will see how we can also say within a few words written by him, how he explains it. Always a larger significance. A little thing touches a larger thing. You can also understand by these 2 simple lines. Always a larger significance. Maybe there may be some large influence in your you can say that maybe you have a larger impact of something bad or anything which has had a deep thing in your heart, or you can say in your mind, but a small thing can make an entire change. You can entirely change the impact of the larger significance with a little thing which happens all of the sudden with you. So we cannot ignore the little things also in our life here. So now we are going to just read the poetry for you now. I am just going to read the poetry for you now. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Once again. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. How beautifully the poet has written here. And this poem has a rhyming scene here. You can see this poem does not have a comma or punctuation marks. It is continuation, but it has a rhyming scene here. The rhyming scene we can see in the first stanza is A, B, A, B. A and first and third lines are similar. Second and fourth are rhyming with them. The way a crow, the dust of snow. These are rhyme. And second and fourth. Shook down me from a hemlock tree. This is also a rhyme, that is B and B. So the first stanza rhyming scene is A, B. And the second stanza rhyming scene is C, D. That means the first line of the second stanza is similar with the third line of the second stanza. Has given my heart and saved some part. These two are rhyming with each other. So it is C and C. That means C, D. Second and fourth are similar. A change of mood of a day I had rued. So these two are rhyming. So we can say C, D. So in whole the poetry is in a rhyming scene. First stanza is A, B, and second stanza is C, D. Okay, now I am going to explain you the first stanza now. Before explaining the first stanza, some meanings you can understand. You can know what is the meaning of shook. Shook means to shake something. Hemlock, first of all, you have to know about a hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is a poisonous tree with a small white flowers on it. You can say it is a tree similar to a Christmas tree. You have seen in the photos, or you have seen in the computers or videos. You have seen the Christmas tree, how it looks. It looks triangle in shape with the zigzag leaves on it. The hemlock tree is also similar to it, but it is a poisonous tree. It is a poisonous tree with a small white flowers on it. It is a hemlock tree. Okay. What the first stanza is about, the poem is set in a scene where the poet is in a bad mood. The poet is in a bad mood. So before going to it, I just want to say about the dust. Dust means not the dust. You can say here that is a dust which is coming from your air or any polluted dust. It is not a dust. This is a dust, some particles which is fallen upon poet's body. Something which is fall upon him. It is a dust of snow. It is some layers of snow which has been fall on the poet's body. Here the dust means the thing which is going to fall on its body now when we are going to read the poem. The poem is set in a scene where the poet is in a bad mood and is walking by a tree, a hemlock tree. He is in a bad mood. He is just moving in a area where there are lots of trees. You can say he is moving in a forest area, or you can say he is moving in a road where there are lots of trees, but he is passing by where? He is passing by a tree which is a hemlock tree. Hemlock tree is a poisonous tree. As he passes by, a crow happens to throw some snow dust on him. What happens when he is passing through? When he is passing through, a crow is there sitting on a hemlock tree. It is sitting on a hemlock tree. There is not any mention about whether the crow is flying from there or it is just flapping his wings here or anything. But the way a crow shook down something, the crow did. The activity which the crow did made the snow to fall on whom? On the poet here. So what happened when the crow was on the way to move? What it did? It just made some snow to fall on whom? On poet's body here. As he passes by, a crow appears to throw some snow dust on him. Whether it falls on his head or shoulders is unknown, as there is not any specific mention in the poem. We can't say it is the snow fall on his head or on his shoulders. It is not confirmed in the poet here, but we can imagine that the snow has been fall on him. Also, the readers are left in doubt about the bird also. The bird is also in doubt. What is the doubt here? A specific action, whether the crow has landing, shivering with cold, or readjusting itself on the branch on taking off. We are not sure about also the crow's activity here. We are not sure whether he is landing from the tree, or whether he is shivering from the cold, or whether he is just want to take off its flight from the tree to another place. We are not sure about the crow's activity also, and we are not sure about the poet's falling of snow, whether it is fall on his head or on his shoulder. It is not significantly or specifically mentioned in this poetry, but we can imagine that it had been fallen upon him, and the crow had did some activity which made the snow to fall on the poet's body. Here the two agents of nature, the hemlock tree and the crow, are the signifiers of sadness and gloom, just like poet's mood was in the opening scene. We can also see here the comparison here, how the poet has used what the mood of the poet in this poetry is very sad. And the crow is also an significance of not a good thing. We can also say it is also a symbol of a bad thing or a very sad thing. We can say it is not compared to be very pretty enough when you see a crow. And the hemlock tree is also a poisonous tree. It is also not treated very good. It is also a bad image for everyone by saying it. You can say an idea, not a good image we have about a hemlock tree and also about a crow here. So both are being used in this first stanza, and the poet mood is also not good, it is also in a bad mood. So he had used a crow and a hemlock tree to express his bad mood here. How the crow and the hemlock tree helped him to regain again its mood. We will see it in the second stanza. So what the meaning we can see here, we can see that the mood which the poet has in this poetry is very sad, very bad mood he is. तो क्या देख रहे हैं हम, पोएट का मूड जो है बहुत ही उदास है, वो टहलने के लिए बाहर निकला, अपने मूड के साथ, बुरे मूड से वो चल रहा है। और चलते चलते जब चल रहे थे रास्ते में, जब हेमलॉक ट्री के पास जब वो पहुँचे, तब एक कौवा वहाँ पर बैठा हुआ था, उसने उनके ऊपर कुछ स्नो पार्टिकल्स गिरा दिए। अब वो स्नो पार्टिकल्स उनके सिर पे गिरे, कंधे पे गिरे, कोई क्लियर यहाँ पर नहीं डिस्क्राइब किया गया है। और क्रो या तो वहाँ से उड़ने के लिए जा रहा था कहीं और जगह पर, उस कारण से गिरे, या ठंड से वो जूझ रहा था उस कारण से स्नो पार्टिकल्स गिरे, या फिर वो क्या कर रहा था, वो कहीं लैंड कर रहा था या उतर रहा था, ये भी यहाँ पर क्लियर नहीं है। मगर ये दोनों चीज़ें जो है, क्रो और हेमलॉक ट्री, वो दोनों जो है अच्छी नहीं मानी जाती हैं एक तरह से, उन्हें भी कोई एक गुड आइडेंटिटी के हिसाब से नहीं देखा जाता, एक बैड इमेज एक समाज के सामने उनका बना हुआ है इन दो चीज़ों का, जो पोएट ने इस पोएट्री के फर्स्ट स्टैंजा में यूज़ किया, क्योंकि उनका मूड भी आज बैड है, तो हेमलॉक ट्री और क्रो को यूज़ किया है उस बैड मूड को रिवील करने के लिए। हम सेकेंड स्टैंजा पढ़ेंगे कल और आगे देखेंगे। थैंक यू।